All right, let's recreate this map of the United States in the style of the New York Times using only free assets and tools. So for the first step, I want to download some geospatial data of the United States. So if you head over to Natural Earth Data, this is a really good resource for free data that you can use, and you don't have to apply attribution. You can use it however you want. So go to the downloads page, and here you'll find all this data categorized by scale. We're going to go to large scale data at the top here and click on cultural. This is the most detailed. Now, if you scroll through here, you have countries, you have all kinds of different data sets here, and down below you'll find admin 1 states and provinces. So you can click on the top link right here. That will download a zipped shaped file for you. Now, the free tool that we want to use here is called MapShaper. This is a web app. Go to mapshaper.org. This is incredibly powerful. I've used it on and off for a few years, mainly just to import like a GeoJSON, simplify the vertices, and then export it out. But I've seen other people using it in really powerful ways, so I'm trying to use it more and explore it. And I've discovered that it is incredibly cool, and they're adding new features on a regular basis that are very, very powerful. So what we can do here is you can see there's a little dialog box that says import files. Here are all the different file formats that it supports. These can even be zipped. So if I go and grab my little zip file that I downloaded, I can actually just drag and drop this directly over the browser. And then voila, I can now see all of my states and provinces as these polygons here. Really, really cool. Okay, so what we want to do now is we need to do a few things. So first, we need to filter out everything aside from just the United States. Then we want to change the map projection. Then we want to maybe style it a little bit, and then we want to export it. So 4 main steps. Now, can we do all this with MapShaper? We can very much do this and much, much more. So in fact, everything I'm showing you in this tutorial is really just scratching the surface. I urge you to go into the docs here and explore because it's incredibly powerful. So now that I've imported this, if you click on this little button over here, you'll see there's 2 tabs. You have layers and console. So if you click on layers, you can see this natural earth layer here has over 4,500 polygon features. And if you click on the little menu here, you can select show information. And that's going to give you like your attribute table, and it'll show you all the keys and values, which is very important. If you want to manipulate this data, you need to know what these keys and values are. So we're going to want to use this admin to filter out just the United States, and then maybe we want to color it using some of these attributes. Now, how do we do that? Well, there's a console here. If we close this and we click on console, this is where we can enter the MapShaper commands. And it tells you right here, enter MapShaper commands or type tips for console help. Now, I'm not a developer. I don't really know how to do any kind of coding. So this is what kept me away from this for a while. But now with LLMs, you can easily work your way through this. And in conjunction with using the docs, these help tips, and an LLM, you can really do whatever you want to do. So first, if I just type tips, you'll see it gives us, points us in different directions here. We can actually type in help to see a list of all the console commands. We can get help with a single command by typing help and then the name of the command. We can get information about our data set. We can filter, we can dissolve, you can do buffering, you can do all kinds of crazy cool stuff. So I'm just going to type help to see what kind of commands we got going on here. So you can see these are categorized. We have the editing commands, input 1 or more files. You can output, experimental commands, control flow commands. Okay, so let's take one of these and dive a little bit deeper. So let's say we want to go to the filter one. So here we have filter. So now I can type help filter, and it should give us some more information about this. Okay, delete features using a JavaScript expression. You see, even using this, I don't know how to filter this. So what I can do is I can go to an LLM and just say, I'm using natural earth data, states and provinces in MapShaper, and I want to see just the United States, and maybe it'll give us a prompt here that we can use. Okay, so it's giving us a couple of different options here. Now, your LLM might not know all of the fields and the specific keys and values of that, so you might need to, help it with that. So I'm just going to copy this first one here, and I'm going to go back to the console, and I'm going to paste this in. Actually, let's clear this. So I can just type in clear. It's going to clear everything. Now I can paste, and voila. Now we filtered this, and it says retained 51 of 4,596 features, because as we all know, there are 51 states. No. So now what we want to do is we want to change the projection here, because this is just not going to work for what we want to do. To change the projection, I can go back to help to see what kind of projection they have here. So here we have the projection command, project your data. And then down here, you also have projections, just to see a list of the supported projections. So let's do that. Let's see all the different ones that they have here. I want to do a specific one. Let's just see what this says. I want to use Albers equal area projection. Okay, it's even given us more. It's telling us how to style the fill and the stroke, but I'm just going to grab this right here. You know, just settle down, ChatGPT, huh? Just do what I ask you to do. All right, here we go. Reproject. Okay, beautiful. Now we're ready to style this. I can't go back here and just look at the styling here, but let's go back to this help here and see what it says. Clear, help, style. Oh boy. There we go. So here's all the style commands. Set SVG style properties using JS or literal values. So we can set the stroke width, opacity, icon, font size. Yeah, so what I would recommend starting off with is I would probably just do a simple project first, export, and then if you want to like start styling, you know, just take it step by step. I would suggest, in my case, I'm going to be styling in Adobe Illustrator or Adobe After Effects when I bring these in later. Or if you want a free option, you can use Inkscape to bring these, to edit these SVGs. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to do like maybe shades of red. So what we can do is say, I want random shades of red for the fills. You know what? And I would suggest using an LLM first, and then as you start to learn these commands, you'll start to, you know, kind of memorize what you want to do. In the Map Shaper web console, let's see if this one works. Each math random. These probably, I don't know if these will work. Let's just give it a go. Okay, so that worked, but maybe we can do, if you want, deep saturated reds. Now, if you want to go crazy, I could probably do a choropleth very quickly and very easily and have these reds represent population data amounts and just quickly create a choropleth of the United States, because there's population data in the natural earth attributes. But, you know, one step at a time, folks. This is just kind of an introduction here. So we'll just have this now. This styling doesn't mean anything. It's not showing any data other than just, you know, showing you the different state borders. This actually added the stroke as well. So it added the stroke. It says stroke width is 1 right over here. So now we have the map here. I'm ready to export this. So let's just clear this again. Now to export it, I can either use the console or I can use this export button right over here. You can use the console to like specify specific resolution. So I can click on export, shows you all the different file formats we can use here. GeoParquet, ooh, fancy. So if you choose SVG, I don't know if it allows you to specify this, but it has more command line options. So you can put in command line options to do, you know, wild things. If you want to name the file, if you want to split it apart, if you want to specify the resolution, you could probably do it all here in the command line. Or you can use the output. Let's see if there's an output, help output. No, let's just go to help and see if there's a, oh, it's right here at the top. Output edited content is just -O. Okay, either way, now I can just come over here and do export, and let's select SVG, and then we do export. Now, if you look, we have like similar shades that are adjacent to each other, so maybe I can get it, take care of that as well. I don't want similar colors next to each other. I don't know what this means, but let's give it a go. Okay, so now it took that like way, way far. Keep it with deeper shades of red. I wonder if it's giving me this block of code because you have to do it in that order, let me know. I'm no coder, man. There we go, that's looking good. Now I'm gonna go to export SVG and let's export this out. All right, now I have both of these exported out. I'm gonna open this up. So there's a free program called Inkscape. So I wanted to show you a complete workflow that was 100% free. So now I can jump into what's essentially like Adobe Illustrator, but a free version. So just search Inkscape and you'll be able to download this. And now I can, jump in here and edit any of these. One thing that I probably want to do is I want to bring the Great Lakes in here and, and I can do that in Map Shaper. I could bring in Great Lakes and do some kind of like subtraction and cut this out. I could also simplify these because they don't look very simplified. Now what's really cool is that as of 2026 you can now import SVGs directly into Adobe After Effects, which means you don't have to go through this Adobe Illustrator conversion madness anymore. So I can just grab this SVG, drag it directly into Adobe After Effects, and now bring it in here. And voila, I now have my map. If you want to get crazy detailed and you want to do a ton of edits, like if you want each state to animate on separately, you can right click this and say create, and then you can create shapes from vector layer. That's going to give you this shape layer. And then you can explode this shape layer out because you can see each group is now a state here. And if you zoom in, you'll see that there are a lot of vertices. So that's another thing that Map Shaper can do, is you can simplify these using different algorithms, and that's where its real strength is. In fact, you can simplify these, and even on export, you could use the command line interface of the console to tell it to split all these into separate groups so that when you bring it into Illustrator or whatever, all of these will be different layers. So you can go pretty crazy with this, but I don't want to dive too deep. If you want to see a standalone tutorial on Map Shaper, like an advanced tutorial on Map Shaper, let me know what you would specifically like to see, because you can do things like buffering. I just saw that, like, as of 2 months ago, you can import geotiffs and do raster overlays and export rasters embedded into your SVGs. It's crazy. I definitely want to experiment with that. But it's like basically looks like this is kind of a lot of the things you try to do in QGIS you can do in this web app, which is really punchy and light and fast. And I follow someone that works for the New York Times on LinkedIn, and yeah, they use this quite often. You can see how laggy this is. That's because of this. If I hit G, you're going to see just how detailed this is. So you would definitely need to simplify this inside of Map Shaper, and also, work on the lakes and punch some of this out, neaten it up. I almost forgot that I should show you how to do this little texture effect that you see in the thumbnail and in the intro animation. So if you go over to texturelabs.org, you can get free textures. If you select paper, I actually used this vintage newspaper over here, paper 378. And now I'm going to jump over to After Effects. And all you have to do is, if you bring that over here, you can just quickly drop it on top of your map and set the blend mode to multiply. And then, you could go to transform and fit it to the width. And then you can keep tweaking and doing different things. But I would probably go and grab a displacement map effect. And I would put it on the map. And then go over here and set the displacement map layer to the Texture Labs layer. I don't think we need effects. And now you can see it will start to, like make it look like it's textured on to the actual paper. And then I went ahead and I downloaded the New York Times logo over here, and I dropped that in the top. Make sure you continuously rasterize this. And now you can do kind of the same thing here. You can bring this up and you can like set this to a multiply or something. And now I can grab that same displacement map, copy it and paste it here. And then you can do some noise effects if you want. There's all kinds of stuff you can do here. Now, if you want to poke around in this project and see how you can duplicate it, it will be available over on my Patreon page. I'll link to that down in the video description. Now, again, I urge you to go check out the docs here, because that's where I got the whole idea for this tutorial, is the featured example, US state map. And they actually give you the code down here. And basically, I took this step by step, and that's how I created this. But I wanted to show you that it is really easy if you use an LLM. It's just going to help you. But if you jump into the docs here, they have really detailed information. And you could see in the example here, you can also do globe locator maps, which is insanely cool, and they have all the code for that here. Okay, let me know what you thought about this tutorial down in the comments section. If you want to learn more about the art of map animations, I have courses linked down in the video description. I'm working on an After Effects masterclass. If you want to join the waitlist for that and check out some discounts in the coming months, I'll leave a link to that as well in the video description. All right, thanks. See you in the next one.